So my name is Max Giffen, and this is my informative, persuasive industry presentation. Here is my audience. And here are my slides. Just where they're there. Okay, so in 2012, I spent my summer working long days in the hot sun, feeling the sweat drip down my back and tasting dust with every breath. To many, this might sound awful, but for me, it was the dream. I wasn't working on a farm or in a field. I was on the Vans Warped Tour, a national touring music festival with over 70 artists and bands selling CDs for an unknown artist I was working with. The band I worked for, Under Everyone, was not an official part of the tour. They were a local act from Michigan trying to make it in the big league. So we loaded up a van and trailer with CDs and hit the road, promoting the music at every date, and selling CDs outside of the door to cover the costs.
Early stage, old school.
What might be surprising to some people is that this is actually very controversial in the touring music scene. Many industry professionals believe that using events for well-known bands is leeching off them, stealing the money they could have potentially made selling their own merchandise. Which brings me to the topic of the presentation: why bands should be allowed to promote their music outside of festival grounds. Musicians known as followers who use this tactic are often the hardest working people out there, sacrificing the most, and they don't actually hurt the signed band's chances of making a profit. Touring is not easy. It is hard, grueling work, not meant for the faint of heart. Bands sleep in vans, struggle to afford food, and often find themselves in challenging situations. In America, however, we believe in the idea that hard work reaps benefits, and I think bands willing to put in the effort deserve their rewards. It takes a lot of passion to live a life like that, and anyone willing has earned their right to be there. An example of a band that became successful through following is No Bragging Rights, which is that band in that picture. The band followed Warped Tour for years before being invited to play themselves. In an interview with Colorado Music Buzz magazine, the band confirmed that they fully believed it was those efforts that got them enough exposure to get that opportunity. Furthermore, many bands these days have limited opportunities for national exposure. Bands may know how to thrive in their local scene, but don't have the resources to branch out past that. An article from the website DIY Musician posed the question, do traditional tours still make sense for the independent artist? Their conclusion was that they do not. The cost of touring on your own greatly outweighs the profit. Without name recognition, they barely have the opportunity to play for any new fans anyways, since most shows only pull a small handful of people, if any. Warped Tour gives bands the chance to expose thousands of people to their music and build a fan base in different markets. Finally, these following bands do not negatively impact touring acts. Years after I worked for Under Everyone, I was hired to tour manage an artist that was a part of the official Warped Tour lineup. The artist grossed nearly $1,000 a day when Under Everyone was lucky to make $200. There were many dates on the tour where no following acts were able to make it out, and the profit was the same. After speaking with acoustic artist Buttons from the Vans Warped Tour, I was able to confirm that his daily profit was not affected by the amount of bands outside the doors promoting themselves.
Yes.
Overall, I believe that bands deserve the right to create opportunities for themselves and utilize large festivals for self-promotion. I believe that they are able to earn that right with their devotion to music. In many cases, it is their only chance to reach a national audience, and I am confident this does not hurt the artists playing these festivals. Music deserves to thrive. I forgot to do these. But there's my references. And here's my audience that's really pumped up now because they super enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah! Go Buttons, he's awesome. He's great.